I'm Mott Atherholt, as you've just discovered, and I'm a member of the Clifton Forge Main Street Board of Directors and the board's past president. Thank you for letting me speak for a minute. The Alleghany Highlands Heritage Day Festival began 6 years ago as an idea by John Hillert for a way to celebrate our rich, diverse, and historic pioneering heritage here in the Highlands. This idea was sprung from an annual event that he enjoyed in his native Wisconsin as a kid. The committee has tried from the beginning to focus on the different cultural groups who settled here in the Highlands through food, music, artisan demonstrations, and other presentations that call attention to the amazing skills and incredible determination of our forefathers to carve out a new and better life for themselves and their families here in the Highlands, a geographic area that reminded many of our pre-revolutionary pioneers of the lands in Europe that they migrated from. The first year, approximately 500 people attended. John Hillert felt that was a good start, that perhaps free admission would attract even more people. Since then, no admission has been charged to the public for this day-long event, and attendance has grown exponentially, so that worked. Heritage Day has grown in the past 5 years into a major day-long event, attracting considerably more than 2,000 visitors last year. For the past several years, as the event showed promise of being a long-term, sustainable event, for years to come, every effort was made to include representatives from the entire region on the planning committee each and every year. Not only have representatives from the Alleghany Highlands Chamber of Commerce been part of the annual planning, but last year Paul Lincolnhofer from Covington joined in the planning, providing us with a link to a number of valuable artisans and presenters from the western part of the county. This year, not only is Paul again part of the committee, but Debbie Seibold, director of Old Town Covington, has joined the group. Both are providing valuable input during our planning sessions. In 2016, there were more than 130 vendors, artisans, entertainers, and presenters offering the public a glimpse into the ways of our ancestors who came here to settle and to live by their wits and their skills. We have demonstrators showing woodworking. They show the skills using their early tools like the settlers did. They demonstrate everything from how bowls and rakes were made from wood to how tools were created using the local blacksmith's hand-forged instruments and attaching wooden handles to make the tools functional. Yes, we also have a blacksmith demonstrating how the chisels, hammers, and other tools were created. Well, you get the idea. We have offered Scottish Highland Games demonstrations, apple butter making in a wooden hand-cranked churn, Native American dancers, soul food, an English tea, a German food experience in a German beer garden. And not to be outdone by that, we had an authentic moonshine still display and a vendor offering moonshine tastings that is now a legal beverage here in the state of Virginia. We do everything legally. We have had everything from Irish stew to a display of herbs used in early settlers' medical treatments, to a look back through time using various collections of the area's historical societies, the Alleghany Historical Society, Botetourt, and Bath Historical Societies. And yes, we've had some wonderful entertainment too. Irish fiddlers, banjo artists, bagpipers, gospel singers, and even a spoons player, something I've never seen before. Our artisans, vendors, entertainers, and presenters are participating in the festival from all over the Highlands. We've always offered displays of domestic livestock of the kind that the pioneers brought with them when they came to settle here. And last year we added horses and wagons and a demonstration of a log pull by horses to that mix. Well, the last 2 years we began to introduce themes into the event by taking a different era of our history here in the Highlands and focusing on it. Last year, the Civil War era was our focus because the Chamber of Commerce was debuting their docudrama, A Gift from a Yankee, filmed here in the Highlands and featuring actors from our region. This year, we will use World War I and II as our theme in keeping with Virginia's statewide World War I and II Memorial Commission, focusing on that same time. We will present the collections of people representing those war times and the lives of people here in the Highlands. We will show a movie from that era on the big screen in the theater. Rumor has it may be Patton or it may be Saving Private Ryan, but that's still out as to which it'll be. And we're going to show a continuous loop of World War I and II newsreels throughout the day. We will also have guides in period costumes of the 40s to encourage visitors to see all the happenings in the 6 different locations of this year's festival. We will have needlework and quilt displays and quilt turnings that feature quilts from that era, and there will even be a food tent that will feature Spam sandwiches of the 1940s, fried bologna, as well as mayonnaise sandwiches, and I'm told I should call it Mater sandwiches. All of those things will happen while continuing to showcase the lives of our original pioneers. This event was never intended to be a theater fundraiser, and now that the theater is open, it seems more than ever important to move it from the umbrella of the theater to a more broad-based nonprofit organization. For that reason, Clifton Forge Main Street was selected to facilitate the continuation of this unique and exciting festival in much the same way that we at Main Street host the day-long Stars and Stripes celebration, where all of us in the Highlands come together to enjoy celebrating our nation's birthday. I have been given the task of chairing this year's festival. It's a tough act to follow John Hiller, let me tell you. And Paul Lincolnhoker, we dragged him kicking and screaming, and he will assume the chairmanship in 2018, so that the continuation of a leader for this festival will occur without any one person being burdened by it for multiple years. I like that part. Speaking of the Stars and Stripes celebration, one interesting note. Similar to the way that the Heritage Day Festival started from John's experience as a young person, the Stars and Stripes celebration was begun by Jack Backles, our much-beloved former president of Dabney Lancaster Community College, who used to experience a similar 4th of July celebration in his grandparents' small town in Michigan. The folks in that town were also immigrants from another country and proud to celebrate their new nation's birthday. One benefit of the Heritage Day event has been the opportunity to introduce people to our beautiful Alleghany Highlands region from as far away as Tidewater, Northern Virginia, North Carolina, and of course, West Virginia. Some people have come from much farther away because they have seen our marketing efforts in publications like the Virginia Festivals book, The Day Tripper, Blue Ridge Outdoors, etc., and all of which are found in all the welcome centers in the state. Our area businesses have definitely seen an increase in their revenue during the festival. And although our town treasurer does not keep daily records of meals and retail sales taxes, the monthly figures for those taxes in the month of June each year certainly show an uptick that we suspect comes in large part from the Heritage Day Festival. The town of Clifton Forge has been very generous with the in-kind services of our police and public works department, most times requiring overtime hours by them. But unfortunately, our town's annual budget does not have any unallocated funds that we could ask to draw from to help fund this coming year's event. And so, I come to you tonight not only to share this information about what has become a very special regional event showcasing Alleghany County, Covington, and Clifton Forge, while highlighting all that is wonderful about the glorious Alleghany Highlands in which we live, work, and play, but to tell you that there were no holdover funds from last year's festival to help with this year's event. So I'm also asking that if you have the ability to contribute $2,000 to the Alleghany Highlands Heritage Day Festival from unallocated funds in this year's fiscal budget, it will greatly help us to continue forward with this year's festival at the level that has been reached during the past 5 years, a level that is attracting more than 2,000 festival visitors each year, who not only enjoy the Heritage Day Festival, but discover while here all that our Alleghany Highlands has to offer. These are the visitors that will help us continue growing our expanding tourist economy. With your support, Main Street hopes to continue breathing life into this festival. Thank you so very much for your time and your patience.
Could you repeat again the dates for this?
I don't know that I even said that. Thank you very much for asking. June the 3rd, Saturday, June the 3rd, beginning at 10 and ending at 5.